let's go ahead and introduce the players on Bel'Shir Beach Winter. In the bottom right-hand position, as the blue Terran, we have FXO Strelok. How was that?
That was your smoker voice, wasn't it, man?
Dude, not today.
No, you're just like trying to lower your voice. You're trying to lower your voice.
You should not be saying that about. I'm trying to clear an image right here, okay? It's a terrible day to say that.
Just let it go.
All right.
In the top left, we have ViBe from its Gosu Dan Sherlong. He is represented by the green color. Now, he is in the top left compared to the way he was in the bottom right, but for the most part, it's pretty symmetrical across the board, I think. Right, Andre?
Yeah. I think there is complete symmetry. I'm not sure. I mean, there's little subtle differences, of course, with the terrain, but I'm pretty sure it is symmetrical. Don't quote me on that, please.
It is. I think it is symmetrical as long as you draw a very nice line. You kind of make a little squiggly in the center, but for the most part, it's symmetrical. So now ViBe again sending out an early scout. Strelok opening very similar. I like that. You know, I mean, both players kind of knew what they were trying to do. So for the most part, if you were watching earlier earlier tonight, same openings from both players.
Strelok will wall off. I like the drone scout that we have over here. Strelok will actually only put 2 on harvesters, which leads me to think that he's going for a command center before factory, and then his gas will approach that 100. He'll be really good. You can actually go the command center and the factory before the second depot in this build. But no, he puts down the second depot. So look at that.
Yeah,
well, so he is changing it up.
Yeah, he's changing up slightly, just slightly. Just ever so slightly, Andre. But for the most part, ViBe is doing the same thing as well. He's getting an extractor, and last time we saw what he did, he went for double queen into triple queen. Now, Bel'Shir Beach, is he going to place his spine crawl a little bit in a better position this time?
I hope so. And you can also see the extractor is much earlier than last time. I was talking before, the second queen, or 2 queens out at the same time, was the big thing for ViBe. He would have a really nice advantage with that larva. He'd be able to make a lot of drones. This time, not going to happen. He's kind of learned from last game. Unfortunate for Strelok, of course, but now he'll get a really fast metabolic boost, and I'm sure after that he gets all of his drones.
Yeah, and you know that way ViBe's able to control. But now Strelok sends his SUV at the same time he did in the last time we saw on Bel'Shir Beach, and he scouts everything. And what are we owing about?
It was a mistake. He wasn't supposed to put 2 SUVs on gas.
He meant
you
to
can see
3?
3 is on it right now, which leads me to think he just messed up. Unfortunate for Strelok, you can see that the...
you never know, man. It could be the Strelok build. Could be the Strelok variation.
I highly doubt it. There's better ways of doing the factory, and I mean, this is delayed factory. Remember, there's no way to look at it differently. I mean, you only have 2 mining, so it has to be a delayed factory. Could it be, you know, I want that command center a little bit sooner? It's not. It's 5 seconds, 6 seconds, maybe. It's not that much.
We do see that ViBe getting that spine crawler a little bit to the south of his hatchery, trying to see if he can cover a lot of area. ViBe getting his units in position in case those Hellions come, but you were saying before, Strelok's Hellions are slightly delayed. The second scout spots the layout of the base. Now, Strelok, of course, is expanding behind this, trying to see if he can get up his mid-game economy. Let's talk a little bit about the implications of what Strelok is doing, going for a fast stim also as a transition.
This allows him to do a lot of things, actually. There's a series of all-ins that you can easily do against your opponent if, obviously, they are not getting enough defense or they're taking too fast of a third. So it's more like, you know, it's going to keep you in compliance more than anything else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just keep you in line. Straight up. So looks like Strelok harassing a little bit, killing off a couple drones here and there. And these drones are getting very toasty. Some of them do end up dying. So Strelok picks off 2 more.
These are Scorpion Hellions, man.
Scorpion Hellions? Wait, why?
You don't know who Scorpion is?
Like the guy from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I still don't get it, man.
His fatality? How do you not get this?
Dude, I don't I don't play Mortal Kombat that much.
What?
I've only played like Street Fighter.
He rips off his mask and throws fire at your feet.
Was this like in the movie? There was like a terrible live action movie with Mortal Kombat.
Excuse me, that was a beautiful, wonderful
almost as
display
bad
of
as the live
cinematography.
Dragon Ball Z movie,
How dare you?
So bad.
I didn't even watch the Dragon Ball Z movie.
That was really, it was really live action. Just keep it in fantasy, guys. Don't put it into live action.
Well, Roach Warren is down for ViBe. Now, this might just be to get him a little space to get his third. That's a lot of times what we see these days. Evolution Chamber is on the way. So he is going some sort of upgrade-centric, I'm sure.
Yeah, pretty standard. You know, he's getting a couple of roaches. Now, ViBe, I remember he used to try to pressure Terrans with a few roaches while droning up. And the idea is, you know, calling out Terran, the fact is you're not making that much besides Marines and Hellions, which is the two things roaches can dominate early on. So we saw, you know, ViBe play with that months ago. And I don't know what he's exactly playing right now as he is. Oh, actually, just kidding. He's expanding. I thought his drone was moving out there for a transfer, but he's actually expanding.
Nice for ViBe. He was actually able to get a glimpse of that starport and where it was in completion. So ViBe knows and understands exactly what his opponent is doing. It is going to be a follow-up with Marines and just straight-up medevacs. Now, it could potentially be Hellions, but I think ViBe at this point understands that it probably isn't. Normally when someone goes 6 or 8 Hellions, 4, 6, 8 Hellions, whatever it might be, you see all those Hellions on the field. You see them because they disable a Zerg from getting a fast third. So I think ViBe is in a really comfortable situation where he knows exactly what his opponent is capable of. We should be seeing just a ton of units come up pretty soon, or spine crawlers, and/or I should say, and/or spine crawlers being put down.
Well, ViBe is producing all units right now, not really droning, getting his lair, finishing up his double Evo upgrades. So aligning sometimes really nice. He's actually getting another macro hatchery as well, so preparing for a very strong mid-game production cycle. Strelok, his combat shield is about to finish. Now he can do a lot of damage if he can force a cancel third while dropping somewhere else, but we'll see how he actually chooses to move his units. ViBe is trying to go for a counterattack.
And can he fit? Looks like only one Marine in that bunker.
That's not enough.
No, it is not. In the meantime, those Marines and that one Marauder is already on creep. And it might be able to do something here. We'll see.
Yeah, we see that Strelok scanning, and he sees the rest of the units. No Banelings, which is a good thing for him, as he is going to run behind this hatchery. Now, the Zerglings are not in the great position, and Strelok getting surrounded, but for the most part, with a tight bundle, I mean, ViBe is going to get pushed back here. Yeah,
Strelok gets great position over here, and now he's going to clean up this third. Beautiful play by Strelok. I mean, that was quick thinking. He knew those Zerglings were inbound from the natural, and he instantly went into that little crevice. Great job.
Yeah, that was, it's just like we said, he saw no Banelings, and he felt comfortable enough to just jumble up his units and say, oh, I just need a good position. And ViBe can't do anything to me. So ViBe loses his third. He's teching to it in his infestation pit, finishing up his roach speed, but he can't really confront this strong of an army unless he has a way to really deal with the Marines.
And you know, this composition, hold that thought real quick. The Zerglings are getting a great surround, but there's the pickup. Now, this composition, Roach Zergling, you really need to get a couple more Roaches. How it works is the Roaches have a natural base +1 armor. So when you get the very fast Carapace, the Roaches should be able to tank the damage, and the Zerglings get the great surround. With only 3 Roaches, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And we do see more Zerglings on the way here from ViBe, as the drop does get picked up here from Strelok, and he's getting a good scout of everything. He sees 2 Evo chambers. Now, back at home, he's preparing his way for his 3rd command center, and his upgrades are a little bit behind, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but with +2/+2 on the way, there's going to be a timing where ViBe has a substantial amount of units, and his Zerglings can survive a lot of the Marine onslaught. And ViBe is going to go for a potential counterattack. Or I think he's trying to scout for the 3rd.
Yes, that's all he's doing. He should only scout for the 3rd. But in the meantime, Strelok is just so good with these Marines and Marauders, keeping on the map and punishing ViBe for not having his units in position. The 3rd doesn't even get canceled. A great pickoff by Strelok. He's going to move further ahead in this game.
Now, ViBe doesn't have his infestors out onto the field, and he's been doing a good job keeping track of the medevacs and making sure Strelok can't be more effective anymore. I mean, he already lost his 3rd, doesn't want to lose anything else.
Correct. And now here's the big push out. Now Strelok, this is kind of the anti-timing, considering the upgrades. +2 is about to finish for the Carapace, and +1 is about to finish. So it's basically 1-1 against 0-0. That's what it feels like to Strelok.
Yeah, and the infestors are about to pop too.
Yeah, that's another big reason why I feel like it's the anti-timing. And once that happens, I mean, a lot of bad things can happen. We'll see, though.
We'll see as Strelok is elevating up. The infestors are out. Now he drops 2 invested Terrans and a fungal to try to see if he can take care of the rest of the units. He's going to need a little bit more.
Nice.
Does Fungal one more time to pick it off. Now, Strelok realizes what's going on right now, so he is in a very, very tight situation. The fact is he can't really leave right now either. So he's kind of backed himself into a corner where he has to really commit to the slow push in. He did manage to take out one of the extractors, but ViBe, he's in position to defend as well.
That's pretty critical. Now the Marines are pushing forward. The Fungal Growth is going to catch these medevacs. What he wants to do is just eliminate the medevacs from the field. That's why it's kind of tough. On a map like Bel'Shir Beach, a lot of times you will see, you know, this Zergling, Baneling, Roach style, but also what you'll see is Muta style again. But here we go, the big engagement. The Fungal Growth is going to go directly onto the Marines. The Zerglings are enough to clean everything up. In the meantime, 3 Marines will enter the natural and do a little bit of damage over here. Drones will be pulled. Let's go ahead and check that. 14 drones killed in total. And ViBe is not looking good, which is not good for my prediction.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, even though Strelok loses his army, he's got 3 bases pretty comfortably. There's no real contest at that third. ViBe is just stuck defending, and he's even keeping that medevac alive, so ViBe still has to pay attention to his base ever so slightly. And ViBe hasn't really been able to spread his creep that well. He's only been spreading in one direction, and Strelok's already starting to clean that up. And ViBe's, hive tech is going, but he's still on only 2 base, so the fact is ViBe isn't that flexible compared to where he should be in the mid game.
Yeah, his hive tech, I think, is only for his upgrades. He's not actually planning on going to some crazy hive tech.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to do that off of 4 gases. Your gas is really limited, and then the mass upgrades where you have to get adrenal glands, the +3 melee, +3 carapace. It just eats up a ton of gas. That's 700 minerals, 700 gas right there. So I highly doubt he's looking to tech into something else. Just sticking on Zerglings, but he needs to deny this third somehow. That is a planetary fortress. Planetary fortresses are pretty good against Zerglings.
Yeah, they could pretty much stand indefinitely against it. Now Strelok.
Wow.
Ooh, he's getting attacked at the natural, and we do see the Zerglings trying to bust off with the Fungals on the Marines. Very big catches here from ViBe. He's also dropping a lot of infested Terrans. Will they be able to clean up everything else? The tank splashes aren't enough, and we see that everything else is cleaned up here. ViBe has an opening.
Yeah, it is a little opening, but it'll do. A couple of infested Terrans will be able to pick off a couple of SCVs. Not too many, 2 SCVs, so it's not that big. But after this, look at this. The same 3 Marines. Holy crap, let's check out how much of a hero. Nope, they're not that big of heroes.
I mean, they're still brave, dropping onto creep.
I've seen Immortals with more kills.
I've seen Colossi with more kills than that, man. I've seen Archons with one. If you do an Archon toilet, one Archon gets all the kills, all the credit. Such a kill stealer, man. One Archon.
Dude,
KS, I hate those. Don't share the
That
goal.
Archon should not play any MOBA.
He's going to get yelled at so much by every team.
Dude, why you KS?
He's going to get
reported. KS? I know. Report a player.
Report for KS.
This guy KS me.
It's the worst thing ever, man. So
it's hilarious.
Strelok is moving out. I like the fact that he's stemming 1 Marine just to scout where the army is. ViBe, of course, sending his Zerglings. He's been very diligent about catching it. There's actually no Marines in that bunker either. So, again, another small little opening, but he's pulling back because there's reinforcements. Strelok moving to the third. ViBe really needs to defend this third,
Dude,
though.
he really needs a third. I mean, desperately needs a third.
He's moving out. He's putting up some of his infested Terrans to soak up some tank damage, but the Zerglings are just going to go for it anyways. And the Marine gets surrounded by the Zerglings, but the tanks are still living. One finally drops. And a lot of infestors actually died as well. Man, ViBe's supply is dropping while Strelok is still holding strong.
ViBe will be able to clean this up, and it looks like the hatchery goes down with the last tank fire. How unfortunate for ViBe. It's like you can't cut a break, man.
Yeah, I mean, his Zerglings were about to get targeted, but then Strelok, his tank, got surrounded. He's like,
dude.
Oh, I guess I'm just going to fire at the one thing I can is the hatchery.
Dude, that is so unfortunate for him.
Pretty bad.
Now, 33 is on the way. Adrenal glands are just about to be finished. Adrenaline. Imagine if they were adrenaline glands.
They're more like Ritalin
They just
glands,
give you more
dude.
adrenaline?
Probably. The Zerg supplements to make Zerglings so crazy good. They do get the surround on the Marines and Marauders. But again, so ViBe's supply is mainly on Lings and Infestors and Drones, and wow, GG.
So, first blood will be shed. Strelok will get that. And nice job to him.
Yeah,
plus
great
200
job
gold to him.
So, plus 200 gold to him. He gets you first blood. That's clever, Andre. I like it.
Thanks, man.
Strelok takes game number 1, showing why his TVZ is one to be respected. Now that is only game 1. ViBe still can turn around. He has map choice from this point on, so he still has a lot of flexibility. But what do you think went wrong specifically? Was it the third, losing that third, not having banelings or something prepared for that push? Was it the big thing?
It wasn't even the banelings. I don't think he needed banelings, but going for the counterattack with those Zerglings, it's a very all-in thing. And that's kind of weird. I shouldn't say all-in because a lot of times we use that very loosely. It's a poor decision because all that he needs to do to stop that is exactly what Strelok had, that wall. And actually, we have a clip of that. Let's go ahead and check it out right now. No, that's not it exactly, but that's okay. This wall, that's the main thing. And it wasn't this engagement, but the first engagement that I was talking about. But this one in particular, I mean, ViBe tried to get something done. He needed to at this point because the third being alive, the natural being unhindered the whole time, something had to happen.
Yeah, I mean, ViBe tried to make a play, and I mean, in the end he busted, but he just didn't have any real way to follow up. So,
but he had to make that play because of him trying to counterattack, it failing miserably, and then those Marines being able to gain so much position, so much ground, and inevitably losing the third. That's the biggest problem. He lost so many Zerglings off of that, and let me tell you, when Zerg lose their army, it's not just like, oh, they lost their army, you know, they just make another. That's true for Terran and Protoss because their buildings are independent of their drone production. Once you lose all those units, you can't make any more drones. You have to make more units. And that's a really tough situation to be in.
Yeah, it's all about the trade-off there in that regards. We'll find out if ViBe is able to come back in the series. That game was brought to you by GameMinder, the application that reminds you about upcoming games and demos. Download it at handelabra.com. We'll be back after a quick commercial break. Game number 2 between ViBe and Strelok will be coming up soon.